Don, your dream of Pochettino going to Newcastle now that much closer.
Yeah, and it is a dream, and it's what I'm trying to imagine happening. He'd have all the big hitters after him. I can imagine Barcelona are probably going to think about making the change soon, even though I think Xavi might be the perfect fit to go there. I'm not sure on buying the job that Hansi Flick's done. So I think for Newcastle fans, they've got aspirations of, a top manager coming in, and it has to start with a manager. I've been reading the press in England, and it's mentioned Coutinho, it's mentioned Gareth Bale, it's mentioned Koulibaly. The first man that has to come through the door for Newcastle has to be a top-class manager. You get Pochettino through the door at Newcastle and then give him money to spend. I'm pretty sure he brings in, or tries to bring in, the top players across Europe.
Craig, who needs Pochettino the most?
Well, he's not going to Bayern because Hansi Flick signed a new contract, and rightly so, off the back of his sterling work during the season after the sacking of Kovac. So clearly there's not going to be a change there. Barcelona, the man himself, Pochettino, has said he wouldn't manage Barcelona because of his Espanyol ties. Now, that can change with an offer, but I don't know. I mean, I think that's a kind of silly position to put yourself in. And I imagine he might reverse that decision given an opportunity. But clearly, Newcastle, if they're interested in him, are going to have a heck of a sell on to get him in there, because he knows he could be sitting tight for one of the big jobs, even though we're not quite sure what's going to be around at the moment. And Newcastle, as good a club and as big a club as it is a difficult sell, because he spent time at Tottenham. He had a great time at Tottenham, but he had to build that up over 5 years with relative resources. And he's going to have to do all that again if he goes to a Newcastle with who knows what amount of money, depending on this takeover. So it's a sit and wait for Mauricio Pochettino. But if Newcastle were to get him, and I think that is a huge if, it would be a great coup for that club, clearly.
Jules, where does your gut tell you he'll end up?
Well, I just think the market for managers this summer will be surely very different. Like for players, to be fair, very different than anything before. And if you're a club and you still have a manager, even if you don't really want him anymore, a bit like PSG and Thomas Tuchel, but he still has 1 year, 2 years, 3 years on his contract. If you sack him now, it will cost you a lot of money that you maybe don't have right now. And same for his staff. So maybe you need to look into clubs whose managers are out of contract this summer. A club like AC Milan, for example, won't have to sack Stefano Pioli because it will be out of contract in the summer. And maybe they could go for Pochettino maybe, or try to get him, although Ralf Rangnick seems to have at least a foot in the house already. But so it'd be difficult. And I think Newcastle, it will all be down to what kind of project they can offer him, because we know that Pochettino will choose very, very carefully the next club he will go to. And as we know as well, he's a manager with a lot of ambition, big ambitions as well. And he might maybe wait for something a little bit bigger than Newcastle, except if Newcastle really put him on the plate, a project that is hard to say no to.
All right, guys, one final bit of news then. The Scottish Premiership has called the rest of its season. Celtic, champions for a 9th time in a row. They were 13 points clear of Rangers. Meanwhile, Hearts have been relegated. They have threatened legal action.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.